All right.
All right, so Team B, this is Jeff and Toni Olson. So thrilled to have them on the call tonight. And I thought, what a great time for them to join us because they're going to be our guests for, what is that?
Just messing with you.
Okay. They are our guests for our regional that we are running in January. So we're super excited to have them on here. And just to tell you quickly a little bit about them, Toni has a double degree in nutrition and international affairs. Is that right?
International relations and diplomacy.
Relations. I knew that was a different word.
You got to be technically correct. Yeah.
Right. And Jeff's background is quite varied. It started out as an Olympic athlete, a two-time Olympian actually, and three-time national champion, an American gold medalist, and two-time TEDx speaker. So pretty cool. And they actually met at the Olympics where Toni was working there and met Jeff. And they have done so much since then, including started managing a 300 tower garden farm in their hometown. Pretty exciting. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys right away to share everything with us, what you guys are up to, maybe share a bit about your story. How on earth did you get a tower garden like that? We've got a huge team that's into tower gardens just north of Toronto, so I'm sure they'd love to hear about that. So yeah, just spill it all.
Okay.
And I'm going to jump off early because I have to run our 9 o'clock call, but somebody else will wrap it up for you, just so you guys wonder where I've disappeared.
All
right. Well, hopefully we're not going to take too long.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're excited to come up and play with you guys, and I work for her, so I'll follow her lead here.
Okay, great. Well, I am thrilled to be invited to be on the call, but also we're so excited. This will be our third or fourth trip to Canada. We love Canadians, and we're just we actually have a little bit of business up there now, so it makes it even that much more exciting. But and I'm super jet lagged, so I just got back from Ireland, so if I start blabbing, he'll just kind of elbow me. And
here's the littlest violin in the world.
So anyway, our story started 20 years ago with the Juice Plus company. It'll be 20 years in February that we will be,
20 years. Oh my gosh.
I know, we're been around for a while. But we heard about Juice Plus actually 21 years ago, the first time. And it was when Jeff's dad was very sick and someone had told him about it as nutritional support while he went through a lot of treatment. And he heard about it and sent the information to us to check out for him. And I honestly was not in a place to being open to really looking at it. I said, it's fine for your dad, but we don't need it.
I got it right away. She didn't get it.
Exactly. So we did not get on Juice Plus. And a year later, we ran into a woman that Jeff had competed with in the Olympics. And she mentioned that her knees weren't aching as chronically. And he said, what have you been doing? And she said, well, for the last year, I've been taking these fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I think it's helping. It's this Juice Plus stuff. And of course he looked at me and said, oh, that's the stuff that you won't let us take. And so it was in that moment that I actually was like, I better
third party.
I better actually look into this. And so I tell you all that because I think it's so important. What I've learned over the years is that, timing is everything for people. And I know there was nothing anyone could have said to me first time I heard about Juice Plus that would have made me open to it. But for some reason, a year later, I was just in a different space mentally.
And very often those that are closest to you won't listen to you. So use somebody else.
So we got on Juice Plus, and because I am an economical person, in addition to being a skeptical person, I decided to sign up for the business at the same time with no intention of doing anything with it except for getting our product, a little discount on our product. And I had 2 kids under the age of 3 at that time. And so I was home with them. I had just left my job, and it was really just very natural. What this business grew in spite of me in the beginning is what I would say, because I just was naturally people in my mom's groups, would say, "Oh, my daughter's sick," and I would say, "Well, nutrition why don't you give them Juice Plus?" It was just very, very natural. So it took us 5 years to get to national marketing director. Wouldn't change anything about that journey. Had a third child along the way. And then Jeff was able to leave his corporate job and join me in the business. And it has truly been, for almost 15 years now, our only source of income. We are so grateful for really this business and the ability to design our lives and to really travel and put our priorities, our family first. So we're extremely, extremely grateful to be part of this community. I think, for me, one of the absolute favorite things about being in the Juice Plus business is the people, hands down. We have friends, that we have met through this business that will be our best friends forever. So what do you want to add?
What do I want to add? Let me see. Turn me on. Here I go. No, so look, I got Juice Plus straight away. Plant powders, I had the intuition and the sort of guttural, visceral kind of, this is different, right? This is not your typical thing. It was kind of along the lines when Apple had launched their Think Different campaign with their technology. Anyway, I saw it as it was different. And I was fortunate because, athletes are, my athletic brain was like, well, that's ruthlessly practical. Plant powders, why wouldn't that make sense? And I took it to my wife and I got smacked down. So I got the product, but I did not get the business because as a man, we're really attached to what we do. And I couldn't imagine raising my family and being a provider on little itty bitty plant powders. And I swim and swirl in a world of 85% women for the last 15, 16. I mean, look, this is a women's business, man. And finding your voice as a man. If you've got men in your life, get them to come in January because I will box their ears a little bit and talk a little smack to them and help them catch up because we're a little thick-skulled and we need to, sometimes learn things the hard way. And look, ladies, you show them the money and they'll pay attention because it starts out as her business. And when the check gets big enough, it becomes our business. And that was kind of the deal for us. She started paying the mortgage, got my attention. She said, tell me more about this little thing. I did one thing, though, very early on that was correct. I was the supportive spouse. Now, if you don't have a supportive spouse or you don't have a supportive mate or you don't have a buddy, that's on you, right? That's the treasure hunt. We married into each other, so we're the buddies, but it doesn't always have to be that. I was supportive, though. So I attended events with my wife. I was her date. I sat in the back and marinated in this possibility of getting out of, corporate life and the grind and, trying to trade your resume up and do that hustle and do that thing. And so, it was, I wasn't looking for it, but the leader here got my attention by paying some of the bills. And then the rest was kind of a discovery for me. I had to poke the bear and learn the financial principles, the business principles. I had illusions of knowledge. I was intellectually ignorant. And most guys are pretty intellectually ignorant when it comes to this business. But to prove some intellectual rigor, you've got to show them the money. And so, yeah, I look forward to meeting all your man cubs up there. Bring all your men because we'll have fun with them. And I got to tell you, I've learned more about what real business is from women in this business than from most of the men. I do have some great men mentors, but it's, like I said, it's been a blessing for the last 15 years. And our job now is to pay it forward, man, because we've been gifted and blessed with this. So we're coming up to pay it forward, man.
So for both of us, we definitely feel that all of our big breakthroughs in this business have come at events. Absolutely, hands down. Whether they're regionals like that we'll be coming to, conference, whatever. So the events are really the heart and soul of what we do. And so that's why we're super excited to be able to come and be there with you guys. I will say sometimes I've seen over the years that going into the holiday season, people sort of mentally check out, like, oh, people are just so busy. I'll talk to them in January, or And I would encourage you really to take the mindset of this is a huge opportunity for you. You're going to be seeing probably more people than you normally do at Christmas parties or, whatever it is. So instead of just stepping back and saying, okay, I'll do it in January, take advantage of that.
I've got the perfect hook for the holidays. You want to hear it?
Holiday hook. Here it comes.
Holiday hook. If you want to listen to me, this is what I'm doing. You don't know what we're up to. If you have seen the movie Game Changers, raise your hand. Okay. If you have not, that's your homework tonight. Watch it. Because here's what the Game Changers movie does. It disarms the man brain, right? If you have any men in your life who are skeptical about eating more plants, cramming more plants, pounding more plants, getting more plant into their life, all the rugged Canadian men up north, you got to watch the Game Changers, because I've been waiting 15 years for this movie. It's the most powerful third-party validation of eating more plants than we've ever had. And it empowers, and so here's the Hollywood conversation, or the holiday conversation is, have you watched the Game Changers movie? If you're not, you got to watch it. After you watch it, you got to let me know what you think. Because we got about a 6-7 month window that everyone's going to see this. If for those who've been kind of in the foodie world for a while, there was a movie that kind of cast the die in terms of documentaries or provocative documentaries called Super Size Me. And it was like 10, 15 years ago. And this guy ate McDonald's for 30 days. Very provocative movie. And this is kind of along that same lines, because what it shows is we've mastered prevention as a company. But what I'm going to be speaking to in the product lectures is human performance. And health and human performance is sort of heads and tails. And so it is a great marketing tool to open up dialogue and sort of disarm the brain and disarm the heart to say, okay, wow, I need to take action. Because people come out of that movie like, I got to eat more plants, man. I got to do something. And you can play off the whole game changer sort of narratives, like get on the field, play, man. Let's start cramming some plant powders. And we're talking about the Shred 10 as the Game Changer Challenge now. Like, that's how we're framing it. It's the Game Changer Challenge. So it's a perfect holiday conversation. So if you haven't seen it, that's your homework.
Yeah.
So Melissa, did you want us to kind of go over what we're going to kind of the content, or what did you want us to share?
Sure, a couple things. One is, give us some verbiage. How do you guys invite to events? That would be great. And then tell us about the Tower Garden Farm.
Okay, dokie. Promoting for events. I mean, look, I think you got to be excited about the speakers. If you're not excited about the speakers, then you can't really promote. So, pimp us out, man. Come on, let's butts and seats, fill the room. Like,
I think one thing that our company does really, really well is strive to add value for people, whether they're product events or business. I mean, so I invite unapologetically for our events, because I know that people will walk away with value, whether it's, asking, even if for a product event example, for example, if they don't get on the product right away, there's just about every single event we've ever had, people are going to be asking questions. They're going to be thinking more about their health, what steps they could take about their health, that kind of thing. In regards to business events, I mean, January is an incredible time of year. It is.
Well, January is a showtime month. I mean, January where everyone kicks off. So, I mean, use it as a game changer, man. Let's get on the field of play. I mean, it's like taking action. Like, so
people are thinking about, what they want for they're setting New Year's resolutions. They're looking at their goals and that sort of thing. So I would really use that opportunity to say, hey, I have no idea if this is for you, but would you come check it out? And I don't know, with the, do you guys tend to get a lot of prospective distributors at your regional, or is it more of established reps?
Well, we're doing the talks, just the 3 talks leading into the regional. So
yeah, we get mostly reps for sure, but then definitely some people just checking it out, but mostly reps. Yep.
Okay. So in regard to inviting for the product event, I would say Jeff has a little bit different take, as you heard. His he's so fired up right now. So fired up. He's been like doing game changer Zoom calls every other day.
We're doing game changer luncheons to professionals. So
which is fun to see how excited he is right now with this, because it gets people really thinking about, oh my gosh.
I mean, look, I have a hard time pitching mamas, man. Like, I throw it over to her. Like, but I got 2 new distributors in the last couple of weeks just off of game changers, so it's working. So
yeah. So I think from that regard, you know, and also with a more of a performance mindset and athletic mindset, how to up your.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, look, to promote ferments, you got to have some belief, and belief changes everything. Like, one person with it is worth more than 99 who only have interest. And I will tell you that our company is like we play small ball, man. We like, my hashtag for 220 is play bigger. We do an event in January in Steamboat, Colorado. It's called Winter Fest. It's a ski vacation to, learn some Juice Plus stuff. But the hashtag, it's play bigger, man. Like, we just play small. We play really small as a company around the business. I think we play big around the product, around plant powders, and that's what I call Juice Plus. I rarely use the word Juice Plus until I'm in conversation with someone. So during the holidays, when you're interacting with people, say, are you familiar with plant powders? Because plant powders distinguish a category, and this is what I'm going to train on in January. Is when people hear a new category, they create new shelf space in their brain, and it's like, we've been given the exclusive distribution rights to toothpaste in a tube 100 years ago. And yes, toothpaste in a tube, you can squeeze it, it's hygienic, you can get rid of baking soda, and oh, by the way, ... we're Crest or we're Colgate. We have pioneered this category called plant powders. And the world will know of plant powders because of our company. And our company, is heading into its 26th anniversary, and we're just getting started. Like, it is game frickin' on over the next 3 to 5 years, because we're going to cross $1 billion in revenue in little itty bitty plant powders. Like, this ain't an experiment, man. It is on, right? And so the company is, I think they spent $24 million in the technology upgrade. Like, we've spent over $300 million over the decades, free product for kids in the health study. Like, it's one thing to get a customer in business. It is a completely different thing to retain a customer in business. So building belief, if you don't have big belief in what we're up to, reach out to your mentor in this business, because that belief creates an energy, creates a state, and you will occur to someone with a different sort of energy vibration when you invite them, man. It's like, you got to come. And as Jay Martin says, when all else fails, use handcuffs, man. Like, whatever it takes, get them there. If you're buying them cocktails, make it happen. And that's kind of throw down for you how to launch into the new year. Like, if you can be unreasonable right now with yourself and say, I'm going to pack this house, and you kick off January with a packed house, that's going to set the tone for the rest of the year. Like, but if we come up there and it's like, wah, wah, so maybe kind of be unreasonable as a team and say, we're going to throw down and launch big in January and pack it out, and you'll create momentum that will carry you through the rest of the year for sure. We're doing product talks,
Tower.
3 days. Then we're doing business talks. My talk is going to be about, health and human performance and food conditioning with plant powders. And I can talk more about that if you want. The Tower Garden thing, I will say, has been a wonderful, awesome journey. It's been a ton of fun. Like, if you check and see it online, it is just sexy, cool, hip, modern, wow, amazing. It's all of that, right? It's just smackdown eye candy. It's cool.
And do you guys have the new one? Did they launch it up there at the same time that Tower Garden Home?
It's coming in January, so it'll be here hopefully when you guys are arriving. But tell us about your Tower Garden farm. Like, how on earth did you get a massive Tower Garden farm? How did that happen? Because we're all jazzed about the towers up here.
The rest of the story is it's been a ton of fun. It's been extremely rewarding. I'm glad I did it. I spent a ton of time and got paid, a quarter of it. It hasn't been a big business builder yet in terms of my Juice Plus business. The good news is it's profitable. It's doing well. I don't work there day to day. My partner does, and it's really her baby. And I handed that baton to her, but I came back kind of obsessed to launch that. And it was a 5-year journey, and we did it, and it's cool. And we're going to do more. But if you have people and reps and team that really want to launch farms, I will tell you that start with getting them to buy 3 and see if they really like it, right? You can get really distracted talking about commercial farms and all this stuff, but if you've got a hot prospect about a commercial farm and they're not willing to buy 1, next, because they ain't serious. Because you get a lot of talkers. I can't tell them talk a big game, and they want to talk all day long about playing big and changing the world and building towers and feeding the hungry, but they won't even buy a tower. It's a pretty tell. It's a pretty big tell. So I always, when you get that use it as a tool to talk to people, no doubt. But then say, hey man, why don't you get going with one, and then bring it back to who we are and what we do, and get a few bourbons in me, and I'll tell you the rest of the story of the tower farm. It's wonderful. It's great. I love it. It hasn't done much for us as a business in terms of business building, but it will.
I will say that having the tower farm here in Denver has done a ton for our community.
Oh yeah, big time.
We have done tours there and have been like sold out through the roof. It has gotten the excitement about
big
Tower
excitement.
Garden off the charts. We've done events there. So we have an outdoor venue. Yeah, it's a great attraction. People want to come see it, touch it, taste it, feel it. So
and can you guys tell us the website so the team can go check it out?
So you can go check it out. It's Altius, which is Greek for hire, which is ALTIUS, Altius Farms, plural, altiusfarms.com. Actually, I'll put it in the chat box.
And it is like school groups, and I mean, just people when they, even just to go in there and because we have a lot of people come and volunteer, just to go in there and to be around all those plants, it like raises your own energy.
It's pretty badass.
It's amazing. It truly is amazing. So yeah,
it's in the chat box.
I think what Jeff was trying to say is people I don't think understand that that's a lot, how much work that is.
It is a completely separate business than our business.
Yeah,
just let me say that.
350 towers is, it's a lot of work, but it is phenomenal to be able to offer that to our community and to be able to open it up to our community and do the tours and do all of that. So I know that the Denver community is so grateful, and we have a huge sideline. I mean, there's probably 20 NMDs here close to. So being able to,
Toronto needs a tower farm. That's the bottom line. So, I mean, someone's going to do it. So, it's a matter of time, but it is a great resource for the community, and it sells towers, no doubt. I mean, we've sold towers for sure off of it. So I didn't mean to say it has done nothing, but it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. It's a completely separate business than this business, which is much less brain damage.
I'm going to say bye, guys, and turn it over. Jen Brennan is going to, I'm sure, has some questions for you guys, and then wrap it up. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Melissa.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
I'm excited to see you guys in January. Thanks so much for sharing. I'm sure you'll get more into your story, but I wanted to open up the lines, but I do have one question before that. So there is a Tower Garden farm here, just outside of Toronto, about an hour and a half away, and I took my kids there this summer. So how it was set up is outside in a greenhouse. They had, probably about, 40 or 50, like nothing where you guys have this. And then in a separate one, they had more indoor growing. So do you guys have different areas, or it's one huge, massive space?
It's one big greenhouse with 350 towers.
Crazy. And how many people do you have working there?
What's that?
How many people do you have working there? You guys
about 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sits on top. The greenhouse sits on top of
You can see it on the website. Yeah.
a sushi restaurant, a really high-end sushi restaurant. And there is an outdoor garden.
It's very chic, very cool.
There's no towers out there. They do have like squash, and they have some plants outside. That's where we can do events in the outdoor space. But yeah, it's all in the indoor greenhouse.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures on facebook.com/Altius Farms is the Facebook page, and there's pictures there as well.
That is so awesome. I know I've got a couple of big tower people on the call tonight. Any questions from you guys before we wrap it up, or do you want to save it until January? Everyone's quiet? Everyone's quiet? Awesome. Okay, well, we have 2 minutes to go, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks so much for taking the time, guys. I know that you're jet lagged, and Melissa said you just had dental surgery, and like, I'm sure this is the last thing you wanted to do. So you guys are rock stars. We can't wait to wine and dine you and take care of you guys in January and hang out a little bit more.
Well, we're super excited. Thank you guys.
Excited.
So
Very
much.
good.
Cool.
Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you in a couple months.
Yep.
You two have an awesome Christmas. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.